What did you like, on Saturday against Arkansas State when they pulled within 8 in the fourth quarter? And what did you like about your offense's response, putting up 14 points to kind of close the door on them?
Mm-hmm. I liked our team response. I thought we played with poise. We've done a good job of that throughout the season. Poise and discipline. They made some really nice plays in the passing game. The one-on-one contested plays where coverage was pretty good, and they have athletes, and the quarterback really can throw the ball given time. Offensively, we dominated them. We ran it, we threw it. We had a lot of explosive plays, points, took a knee at the end of the game, probably could have scored again. So I thought going in that physically we could wear on them as the game progressed. That had showed up on tape in their games, and that was the case.
I mean, you talk about, offensively dominating them. Statistically, your defense is still up there in every category nationally. Was it not as good a defensive performance, or in your mind, or is that just a tougher Arkansas State team?
We gave up 20 yards rushing. Yeah. They were 2 for 12 on third down or something like that. We created a turnover deep in their territory. They made a couple plays on some go balls, against press one-on-one coverage. When you play that kind of coverage, that's what you're going to see sometimes. And we were in position, but they made some really nice plays, and quarterback made some really nice throws. So we had some things on defense we could clean up. We had a lot of things on offense we can clean up. We got to start better. We can't wait a quarter and a half to get going on offense. And what's holding us back right now is penalties, pre-snap penalties. And every once in a while we might make a misread, something along those lines. But, we got to be sharper to start the game.
3 games into Sunbelt play, do you feel like a tangible difference between like the talent level of teams you're facing last year in the FCS to now, even though some of the results are still, 3 possession wins?
Yeah, we're playing better teams. This is a good conference. Every team in the East, every team in this league can beat every other team in this league on any given day. And all you got to look at, ask Notre Dame, ask Nebraska, ask A&M. North Carolina was down both times, App State and Georgia State. Yeah, I'd say there's a difference.
What's the scouting report look like for Georgia Southern?
High-octane offense, Western Kentucky offense from last season. Western Kentucky really lit it up with points, yards, passing yards. Want to snap the ball as fast as they can, and they're going to spread you out. Got all the concepts, the RPOs, the quick throws, smokes, bubbles, switch route. They got all the pass concepts. Their tempo is a problem for people. And this offense, while it's not a carbon copy because everybody looks at their team and says, what are our strengths, and then they adjust things a little bit, they're averaging 5.3 a rush, but they're throwing it 60% of the time right now. So -3 in the turnover ratio. Had some turnover issues last week. Really skilled at running back and receiver. Quarterback is, played a lot of football and had some really good games. Defensively, they've given up points and yards. They'll 3 down and 4 down, mix it up a little bit. And got to get after them on offense.
How similar is their offense compared to like a Middle Tennessee who came into that game, with throwing the ball a lot?
It's a lot different. It's just a lot different. One thing about Western Kentucky last year and Georgia Southern this year is they can run the football. So, and they can get out of their hand real fast if they want to, or they got all the rub routes, switch routes, the vertical routes. They got the tricks, the reverses, the flies. They've got deceptives. They got a lot of stuff.
Have you seen Todd grow week to week in this offense? Like this past weekend, he had his best, completion percentage.
Mm-hmm.
Have you kind of seen him grow and get more comfortable each week?
Yeah, I think since the second or third series of Middle Tennessee, you've seen that. He might miss a read or two early on, settling, but all quarterbacks, let's face it, there's a lot going on there. But what you really see from him is, he's really competitive, and he's resilient, and he can take a hit, he can bounce back from a bad play, he can get you out of a bad play, use his feet to get you in, turn a bad play into a good play, make all the throws that you need to make down the field. Our guys believe in him. He's a great leader. He plays with poise. I think he just needed to get in the right offense. Last offense he was in was kind of an under center run offense, and he's flourishing. So he's doing a great job.
When you have a kicker that's struggling a little bit, how do you kind of approach that in practice? Is it different in other positions, or is it approached the same way?
I don't say much to them in the game. I encourage them. He kicked really well in practice last week, and he hit that first one really well. It was just into the wind a little bit and came up just short. It would have been right down the middle. Tough hash, his hardest hash is the right hash, and that's been pretty consistent. He'll still make them from right hash. He just didn't make this one. So, but I have total confidence. Every field goal kicker across the country misses a field goal. And the players do too. And I told him, well, you'll put one right down the middle to help win us a game down the road. So don't worry about it.
What makes Josh Serrata a good punt returner? Obviously, he's starting on defense, but what kind of makes him, a good in that role as well?
He's got good ball skills, and trust him catching the ball. We've had some good return opportunities. We've also not fielded a few that we need to field. Texas State was a little different game because of the wind and the rain and the cold, and they punted away from him. So, like everybody else, he's got some things to clean up.
At this point in the season, you've talked a lot about needing this team to really use its depth to create success. Knowing that a lot of these teams kind of see JMU, kind of understanding what this team is about a little bit, how much more important in this next 2-3 weeks is that depth going to be, especially, seeing Terrence Green getting catches and then Chris Thornton getting the chance to be able to pick up some serious yardage?
Well, depth is extremely important, particularly when you get guys hurt, which we were shorthanded on the defensive line last week going in. And this is the time of year now, the more games you play in succession, got guys playing, but they're banged up. But they're still playing. So when you can work a rotation in at positions, that helps because guys play less snaps. They can play faster, more physical. So, we're starting to run into that a little bit right now, but not as badly as some teams that haven't had an off week yet.
How do you kind of manage that wear and tear, especially since this could be something that you want to avoid as much as possible?
Yeah. Well, our practices are pretty short. We're not doing a lot of good on good right now, which, that's when really, when you get those ones going against ones. And then, trying to work a rotation at positions where we feel like we can.
Is that wear and tear different than, I guess, previous years playing the FCS at this new level, or is it the same?
Not really, yeah.
You've worked in some nearby states before getting here, and I asked Jeff this the other day. How much different is the landscape of Virginia now with 5 FBS teams? It seems like it's happened overnight compared to the way it was.
I can't really speak to that because, I've lived in Virginia since 2019. What I can tell you is college football's changed a lot, and especially in the last, it's changing very rapidly right now. But so it's a big change for us because we're FBS right now, and because we're successful, we're getting a lot of national media attention, which is positive for the university and the program. And we just, as a team, we got to make sure we handle it the right way. But like there's good football in the state of Virginia. And, you know, it's a great recruiting state. We've gotten a lot of really good players out of the state of Virginia. I think, you know, if we have continued success, then more and more players will be available to us in the state of Virginia. And we treat Maryland like it's in-state too, as a recruiting area. You know, the border states, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, now that we're in the Sunbelt, South Carolina. So I can't speak so much to the old days, you know, when it was Virginia, George Welsh against Frank Beamer, you know. So, but, you know, that's football across the country. FBS schools have popped up and expanded across the country the last 10, 15 years. So, and there'll be more changes. There'll be more changes down the road. There'll be Power 5 conferences, somebody bolt this conference, which might force somebody else, 2 or 3 teams to bolt also, and spin-off conferences. I mean, nobody knows what's going to happen.
Do you have an update on Solomon after Saturday?
Yeah, he's going to be out this week and won't be available. Probably be out a few weeks. Thanks.
Explore the great outdoors with the all-new Charlie Oball RV and Outdoor Superstore. You've got to see it to believe it. Come shop our mega showroom located off I-81 and I-64 in Stanton. Hundreds of new and pre-owned campers of all sizes in stock and ready for making memory. New campers like the Keystone Hideout starting as low as $175 per month. It's the only store you need to visit for the latest deals on fishing, hunting, electric golf carts, electric bikes, and all the best outdoor apparel. Visit CharlieOballRV.com or stop by and start camping. And God bless America.
Hello, Queen City. Direct jet service to Charlotte on Contour Airlines takes off from SHD starting November 1st. Our new airline partnership will enable Valley travelers to make seamless connections beyond Charlotte on American Airlines, along with smooth baggage transfers to your final destination. With the highest level of customer service, plus all-leather seating and expanded legroom in every row, you're in for VIP travel experience with Contour Airlines. Visit ContourAirlines.com to book your next flight and experience the SHD difference.